Hello everyone. So we are fairly close to the end of the project. So what we are going to do in this session is we are going to create the service definition and the service binding. Now, if I go to the slide for service definition, so the service definition, it tells what entities need to be exposed. In our case, we are going to expose ZC UX team. So if you have a whole a bunch of other entity sets, then you can expose them all together. But in our case, we only have a single entity set, so just expose that. The keyword is expose. The template pretty much gives us everything. All we have to do is fill in this name. And we can also give an alias as well. So that's what we are going to do. And even at so late in this stage, it is still protocol agnostic. So it is still, you can still create a OData v2 or a v4 service. Even at this stage, it is protocol agnostic. So let's go to the ABAP repository tools. And what I'm going to do is right click and say new and new service definition. And I'll call this Z underscore expose, yes, VT. And I'll call this service definition for UX team. And let me say finish. And let's say finish here. And what I need to do is I just need to give the name of the entity name that I need to expose. So I'm going to say ZC underscore UX team underscore 5551. And then I can give an alias. So I can say as UX team. Okay, so this should suffice. We only have a single entity set. Again, like I said, if you have multiple, go ahead, expose all of them. And I will go ahead and activate this as well. So the activation happened, no problem. The next thing I want to do is create the service binding. And the service binding is protocol agnostic. It is not protocol. This is the first time that we are binding it to a protocol. So we're going to bind it to OData v2 and also OData v4 service. So let's start with OData v2 service. So what I'm going to do is come here again and right click and say new service binding. And I will say, give a name Z UI. UX team v2 5551, and this will be the service binding for UX team, and OData v2 UI. So that's what I'm going to choose. You can also, you have a whole bunch of options here. You can choose OData v4 UI if you want, or OData v4 Web API without the Fury Elements app. So I'll choose the OData v2 with the UI, and we have to do is say the service definition. Notice next and finish is grayed out. So I will click here and I will choose Z underscore expose UX team 5551. Say next and say finish here. And this should create me the service binding, and we can activate this now. This should get activated. And then once it's activated, I can go ahead and publish. So this is going to take a little while. So I'll come back once this is complete. Okay, the service is now published. So what you can do now is you can select the entity set. Again, if you had multiple entity sets, then you'll see a whole bunch of them here. And then you can click preview, and this will open up the Fury Elements app. And you can see that the Fury Elements app is shown. You say go, and right now there is no data in the base table, so that's why you don't see any rows here. But you do see the standard search functionality where you can search by first name, last name, and so on. And you have the filters for first name, last name, and salary. Let's go ahead and create a user, and I'm going to create a user here. I'll call it Milton, age 45. Role, I'll call it as UX developer. And notice that I'm not putting in the salary because the salary is read only. Let me go ahead and create, and this should create me the user. It creates the ID here as well. And if I go back, you will see that there is the user here. It is set to active is set to no, because we have this defined as a as a action. I can select Milton, I can set active, and now the user is active. So that's what happens when you create the Fiori Elements app with OData v2. What we'll do here is we will go ahead and create a binding for OData v4 as well. So you can have any number of bindings. So I can go service binding here, and then I will give the same name, ZUI v2 here, or v4 here instead of v2. And then what I'll do is I'll give a description, service binding for UX team. And instead of choosing OData v2, I will go ahead and choose OData v4 UI. And then the service definition itself is going to be the same. And then I'm going to say finish, and it's pretty much the same steps here. So what we have done here is we have come to pretty much the end of the cycle here, and let's go back to all the steps that we have done. So we started with the base table, created the interface view, created the consumption view, the metadata extensions. We defined the business object. We defined all the definitions for this business object. We implemented the behavior definition. We projected, and notice that we projected all the behaviors, even the delete. And I mentioned that I'll go ahead and remove delete later on. And then we had the service definition and the binding. So we have pretty much a complete app at this moment. In the last section, we'll look at draft handling. But before that, let's look at how the delete operation works if I don't project it. So if I go to my app right now, you can see that I have the delete functionality right here. So what I'm going to do here is go into my projection, and let me go into my projection here. And in my projection, I'm going to remove delete. I do not want to expose the delete functionality. Let me go ahead and save it, and I'm going to activate it here as well. So at this moment, I do not have delete, and let me go ahead and close this app, and let me go ahead and open it again. I can go into my service binding, and the UI v2 is what I want. I'm going to say preview, and this time if everything works, I should not see the delete, and you see that there is no delete. Delete is not exposed, and you can still see the same number of rows here. Okay, so that's it for now. In the next session, we will look at draft handling functionality, but at this time we have a fully functional app with OData v2 and v4 service. Thanks.